To me, gardening is like a new life. You can watch the plant grow, and it's very therapeutic. It helps to take the kinks out of you. It puts the kink in, and then yet it takes it out.
Your garden is good for meditating because you can go out in your garden. The birds are singing, the bees out there, and it's very good. It really helps. Nature is a great thing.
When you get in the garden to work, you forget everything. You forget about your problems. Watch the plant grow. Watch the cherry on the tree. Watch the apple grow. And how much you can give people and what you're going to do with it. That's what it's all about.
Gardening is something I love. It's time when you have a lot of things on your mind. You can get out in the garden and you and God can talk about it and do things together.
I love gardening. I like to see things grow. And if you take care of garden, the garden will take care of you.
My garden means being able to work with people. Short ones, tall ones, fat, skinny, and in between. My garden changed me from a country farmer into a good city farmer.
I never would have thought I'd have a garden in New York. I really didn't. It takes a long time to build a garden and a lot of hard work. They say they want to take this garden to make houses here. We are not against houses. I want y'all to understand that. But we need our garden. Everybody in the neighborhood talks about this garden. People come by stopping in the car just to look at this garden. And they make us feel good and asking us questions about it. How you get it, how you start it. That's the truth. I'm telling you, it's something. We feel so proud of our garden.
Forgotten block from one end of the street to the other. It's not just this lot, it was a lot across the street over there. I mean, they have cars all up and down the street. You can't even get in here driving your own car home from work in the afternoon because of the people here. You can't walk down the sidewalk. They got cars on the sidewalk parked everywhere. And it's bad for the neighborhood. Your kids can't play out here because you're afraid of what they might do. You know, they just speed through the block. They don't care how they come in here. They set fires. I remember one morning I came out. This white car here, the guy was backing it up. It was almost to my fence. If I hadn't hollered at him and told him to move, I guess he would have been there. There was already 3 down there, and they set them on fire. That's my garage there. My car is in there. So is my husband's car and my brother's car. I have kids over there. And they want to know why I'm angry? Yeah, I'm very angry. This will break a person because I'm gonna tell you, it almost broke me. I was ready to put my house on the market. If it wasn't for Green Thumb, it'd be worse than it is now. And if we hadn't started, some of the neighborhoods started cutting the weeds down, it'd be about 400 or 500 cars in here because this lot can hold just about that many. After they finish taking the cars away, if they can level off the land, we'll start putting up a fence because that would help keep them out, at least the cars anyway. And then we'll, like when it gets a little warmer, after we get the lot clean, then we'll put up our garden the way we want it, build a barbecue pit, have a place for the kids to play, benches and things for the elderly to sit, play cards if they want to. There'll be some place for the teenagers to come out, you know. It'll be nice. And I can't wait. Believe me.
The garden really touched the child in people. It brings out when the days were good for them, when life was easy and simple. It makes them feel good when they're hurting to remember the good times. it brings back all the memories. And this is what the garden brings out in them. I don't care how drunk they may be, how high they may be. There is that respect that comes out when they're at the gate, when they're in the garden, when they pass the garden. What we do here in the garden, we try to put one of the older ones with the younger one. One, to show them how to do it. Two, to keep them out of trouble. Three, it helps them to learn, because hard work is an essential in our society. So the garden grows that way, and as we do these things, you get an art to it, a design. You get creative. Imagination comes out. Attitudes change. There's a whole new redevelopment because of an attitude change. Because now, this is mine. I grew this. I planted this. Hey, don't be messing with my box. Don't be destroying my... I work hard to put that in the ground. The garden has affected the community in attitude. People are more friendly. People are willing to help. And once they see you doing, they want to join in. It doesn't become work anymore. It becomes fun. And that's the whole new development. Once it becomes fun, then here comes the competition. I could do it better than you. You can't do it better than me. And that boosts the ego. And as they boost, as they grow, so does the garden.
Oh, nature's one of the greatest things that ever been. If it wasn't for nature, we would never be here. And nature, even the butterflies out here in the garden and the bees are out here. They're getting their pollen for the next winter, and even the ants and et cetera is out here. I really love nature. I love outside places where it's really beautiful, clear, peace.
Believe me, it was unbelievable how much garbage everybody, all the houses around, they dump anything. This dumping lot here, so filthy in front of the public school. And the kids had to walk in the street. You know, people, when they saw us over here, ladies, you know, chopping trees and everything, that lady is crazy. She must be crazy. And I said, no, I'm going to clean this lot. We got all the people involved. We put the garbage outside. They sent 12 trucks, and we dump it. But they just give me one piece, that piece over there in that rocks. And I say, after I clean all of this, I'm not going to work in one piece. I want the whole thing, because this is a dumping lot. The citizens utilize this for nothing. We're going to have it for a garden. La berenjena, los repollos allá. ¿Y solamente tu clase de tomate? Chacha. Sometimes the people comes around and they say, how did you start it? Well, it's very easily. We organize the group. You don't have to spend a penny, because I get the connection where you can get everything free. So where? Oh, Green Thumb. And I believe I have been telling the people that if they organize the group, I'm willing to help them 100%, because I want to see a community, a clean community, a better community. And besides that, the people that live in there, they're poor people. They plant their own vegetables, and they save money. So it's very important. To me, it's very important. Okay, you follow me. One of the girls here, or the boys, as soon as they get that, you pull it aside, okay? You rake it aside, and you put it right there. Can I go inside and get the beans? Yeah. We found out that if we're going to plant it, I soak it in the day before. And you see, the skin softened. And after maybe 8 days, start sprouting out. What do you do with the crop?
Take it out.
Wash it.
Sell it or eat it.
Uh-huh. That's why you planted. You have to eat. Like we have ripened tomatoes, peppers, squash all ready to eat. Then you bring it home, and it is something that that you do it yourself. You don't have to go to the market and buy it.
We have peas, we have beans, we have cucumbers, we have corn, we have okras, we have turnip green, we have mustard green. Then we have, on the fruits, we have apples, peaches, cherries, plums, pears, and a lot of grapes, plenty of grapes.
Bumblebees and honeybees nectaring spring blossoms of autumn olive, all round gardeners seeding and planting.
This garden is a miracle, what happened. From nothing, just that we can grow gourds, we can grow flowers. People, to me, it's amazing. People walk by the street and they just stop. These are toughs. These are people that at nighttime I would want to be on the other side of the street. And they just look at me and they say, hey man, thanks, you're doing a great job. And I didn't ask them to say that. I mean, old ladies stop all the time and they say, oh, the flowers are so beautiful. I expect it from them, but just that these guys in leather jackets stop and say, it means something to them. The garden really means something to people here.
I was born up a southern girl, and that's why we made this place like this. When I was born in the city, and my hometown is just like this. My mother's house is just like this. My husband's house is just like this, down south, North Carolina. My husband and I, and some of the teachers at school, they come here. They bring the kids from school, they bring them here, and that's great. And I like that, by they're working in the garden, teaching them, showing them the way that I came up.
I see it in the kids that come here, our young kids. You know, out on the street, you know, when they're playing out on the street, I could see their hostility. I see it, and it makes me sad because I know where that hostility is coming from. It's not children that are real, they're not born that way, you know. Something has made them that way. When I open up the gates, I open up the gates to a heaven for them. A little bit of happy, a little bit of country, a little bit of heaven.
There is all kinds of nonsense going on. You know, you go out in the street, there is a lot of traffic, a lot of pollution, a lot of people that are deranged, and a lot of nice people too. But here you have the opportunity to be yourself and not to be bothered by a lot of things that usually bother you. You know, and we live busy lives and we deal with the subways and the trains and the buses and tons of people.
A lot of people out there, when you go out on